Hello everyone, I'm Miss Trish. I'm one of the RE teachers at UU St. Pete, and I'm here with the lesson for September the 6th, and it's called Recommit to Community. I'm going to light our chalice. Love is the spirit of this church, and service its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. Our faith asks us to continually renew and recommit ourselves to our church community. It also reminds us that religious community is a primary source of renewal for human beings. So that's one of the ways that our faith guides us into becoming a people of renewal. It tells us to recommit yourself to your church community and let your church community nourish your spirit. So get ready for a really UU service, a water service with reflection and running water sounds. So let's focus now on the sound of running water, lifting up into awareness, how it is a universally soothing sound and represents those parts of life that calm us, fill us up, and quench our thirst. This symbolism is the reason that you use water as a centerpiece of the ritual that we start each new year with. Many of our holidays come from other traditions: Christmas, Easter, Halloween, but we do have one that was created by Unitarian Universalists and is our very own. And it's called the Water Communion or Water Service. The original service was created by a group of women in 1980, and here are some of the words describing why they used water as a central symbol. Celebrating now our connectedness, we choose water as our symbol of empowerment. As rivers in cycle release their waters and begin again, we also cycle. For us as women, these beginnings are powerful but not easy. But still, we come to create and to celebrate and to live by the only spirituality worthy of our devotion. A spirituality that uplifts, empowers, and connects. And words like that were used in our original water communion. I'm going to turn on some water sounds for the next part. The core symbolism of the water communion is that we all come from water. As a species on a planet where life began in the ocean, as mammals who float in amniotic fluid as we are readied for birth, as beings whose cells are mostly water, and yet we're separate from each other, and we have been apart, since there tends to be a slowing down, a different rhythm in summer months. Even in churches that have services and religious education right through the summer, and now we are reuniting. We are separate and together, the way water scatters into rain and streams and clouds and springs and ponds and puddles, and yet flows together again and again, one great planetary ocean. Not only is no drop of water superior to any other. All water comes from the same place. And so once a year, UU congregations from all over the country invite their members to bring in water from a place or an activity that renewed them over the summer. It could be from the kitchen tap, from the garden hose, a favorite swimming pool, or from a trip that one took over the summer. We combine these waters as an act of renewing our commitment to our church community and as a reminder that truly nourishing water is one that welcomes many unique streams of everyone. Do you remember bringing water to the church in a past year to add to the water communion? Last year I brought in rainwater. If you like, you can pause the video here and talk to each other about what you remember from past water communions. Who brought what water? What water did you bring? I'm going to pause as we get ready for our next segment. So now I have a story for you. It's called Higgins, A Drop with a Dream by Christopher Boyce. So just to demonstrate the size of a drop, I'm going to drop some water from this eyedropper into this big container. Here's the tiny drop. That's about the size of Higgins. Higgins was no ordinary drop of water. He was a drop with a dream. Higgins lived in a valley where it had not rained in a very long time, so all the lovely green grass was turning brown. All the beautiful flowers were wilting, and all the trees were starting to droop. Higgins had a dream that one day the valley would be a beautiful place again. But what could he do? After all, he was only a drop of water. One day, Higgins decided to travel and tell others about his dream. All of the other drops listened very politely, but no one believed that his dream would come true. Higgins, one said, "Get your head out of the clouds. You can't spend your whole life dreaming." Higgins decided that he had to do something to make his dream come true. So he began to think, and one day, as he was walking by a rusty old bucket, he got an idea. If enough of us drops of water got together in this bucket, Higgins thought, there would be enough water to sprinkle on a few flowers to help them grow and become beautiful again. Eagerly, Higgins told everyone of his great idea. But everyone thought he was being foolish. "That Higgins, he's nothing but a dreamer," one said. Higgins decided he had to do something to convince the others that he was right. And so he said to them, "I don't know about you, but I'm getting into this bucket. I hope some of you will join me. Then there might be enough water to help at least some flowers grow beautiful again." So Higgins ran as hard as he could and hopped up in the air and landed with a kerplunk in the bottom of the bucket. And there he sat, just a drop of water in the bucket. For what seemed like a very long time, Higgins was lonely. It seemed like no one else was going to join him. But after a while, some other drops could see that the grass was dying, and the flowers were wilting, and the trees were drooping. They all agreed that something must be done. Suddenly, one drop shouted, "I'm going in the bucket with Higgins." And he leaped through the air and landed, kerplunk, in the bucket. Then two other drops yelled, "Wait for us!" And they hopped through the air and landed in the bucket. Then 10 drops jumped through the air and into the bucket. Then 30, then 50, then 100 drops came from all around just to hop in the bucket. Soon the bucket was completely full of water, and there were still more drops that wanted to join, so they found another bucket and hopped in. Before long, there were 2 buckets of water, then 3, then 4, then 10, then 100, then 1,000 buckets of water. Along came a powerful breeze and blew over all of the buckets, and all the water flowed together to make a mighty stream. Everywhere the water flowed, and the grass turned green again, and the flowers bloomed, and the trees stood tall and straight once more. All of this happened because Higgins had a dream, and his dream came true, because he knew that although he was just a drop in the bucket, enough drops in the bucket made a bucket full, and when there were enough buckets full with water behind them, then justice will roll down like waters and righteousness like a mighty stream. What do you think the lesson of this story is? You can pause the video now and talk about it to each other. And while you have it on pause, get ready for the meditation. And when you're ready, restart it, and Miss Janae will guide you through the next part, which is a meditation, and then the closing. So for now, goodbye from Miss Trish. See you next time. Namaste.